No, I played on with the Monday Night Blues Band. They'd bring a Monday Night Blues Band down from Vegas, and then host a jam session. And after my second time, then they hired me to play along with the jam session. So on most of the other work, I was drumming for Bruce Speakman's band.
I know that name.
There was a sure you do. And Bill Foss was a bass player, long black hair, glasses. Bill Foss was the bass player, and he'd been there for several years. I just reconnected with Bill. He's up in Oregon. Awesome. And and then Ray, we had great times playing there, but it was too damn hot, man. After 4 years, I said, to hell with this, and I moved to Prescott.
Well, Prescott's a beautiful area, too. Yeah, but I want to ask you... I was going to say, I want to ask you a question about your music. Obviously, from this first song that we just heard, there's a real apparent Memphis, Tupelo, Elvis kind of, influence there.
Feel.
And, but what other genres of music do you do? Now, as I tell every guest that comes on, and I know I sound like the Department of Redundancy department here, especially to David, but I never get to hear the music before it's played, and that's by design because they want the staff here wants a visceral gut reaction from me, and I really like Mama I Miss Memphis, but what else does?
Thank you very much.
Oh, no, seriously, I really do. But what else does R.D. Olson do? And what's up? What's planned for the future?
Well, I'm changing a little bit, but I want to go back to something because we're talking about Bullhead City. I wrote Mama I Miss Memphis in, what year was it? In the early 90s, 93 or 4, in Bullhead City. It didn't it just got released, is what it did. But I wrote that driving from Needles, California, the Needles Highway.
Know it well.
Coming into Fort Mojave and Bullhead City. Yeah. That song jumped into my head. I was just driving down the road, minding my own business. I wasn't thinking about music. And that song burst into my head. The lyrics did, and I heard the arrangement, and I literally pulled over to try to find a pen in the truck. Couldn't find but I wasn't far from home. I lived right off that Needles Highway in Fort Mojave. And I run into the house, and I write that song. Now, and this is true, it turns out that was the day Elvis had died, many years previous. Gosh. So I always felt that, I really felt at that time that I'd channeled that song or something, and honestly, and I had to get it out. So here's the story about this, and then I'll get into the music thing. I was compelled to record it, and I didn't have a lot of money. We're musicians, and I moved over to Prescott, which is even worse financially, but for music work. But I got it recorded, and I used a Prescott band, and we took it to Memphis on the 25th anniversary of Elvis's death. Now, I had no clue of what I was doing. We got a trade show booth at some hotel where, they're all trading Elvis memorabilia, and nobody was paying any attention to us because we couldn't use anything to do with Elvis without licensing from Graceland, which was $50,000 at the time. So Mama I Miss Memphis was just laying there. Nobody knew what it was. And what happened next, I think, it's one of those, oh my God, it's like something's helping me out here. So I took to the streets. I said, this ain't happening. We got to go out and act crazy and play the song from a blaster on top of the car. And I got on 2 news channels doing that. Memphis got on Channel 24, and I believe it was Memphis Channel 3. But... So we started, and I'm the one that put the stickers all over town, and they were looking for me. The cops were looking for me, but they didn't know. I had bumper stickers. I had Mama I Miss Memphis bumper stickers, and I plastered them all over downtown on all the barrels. I put it on, and I'm making a confession. I put it on Sun Studios' window, and they said the cops are looking for that guy. Yeah, and so I put him in I was doing guerrilla marketing 101. But it got me. It got attention, and so this is true. So I was staying in a fairly nice hotel on the outskirts of Memphis. Decided I heard about this hotel where they signed one of the first deals that Elvis had made professionally, and it was not too far from Grayson, a little dumpy 2-story motel with a swimming pool, and that's where a bunch of after-hours traders would hang out. and party there because of that deal. So we traded a room, a real nice room, to somebody for that room. And now, the first night in, they're trading all night, and it's a big zoo. But the next morning, I go out on the second floor balcony to smoke a cigarette. I don't smoke anymore, but I did then. And there's another big, lanky, tall guy standing next to me. And I introduced myself, and he says, DJ. And I said, DJ who? He said, DJ Fontana. And I went, oh, my God, that's Elvis's first drummer.
Right.
And I said, I mentioned you in this song, DJ. I've got you in this song. And so he said, cool, and he listened to it. And he took me down, and he got me into the Memphis Mafia club that night, goings on, where they were broadcasting a radio show, syndicated radio show, live from some bar downtown. And he got me down there, introduced me to Sam Phillips' son, Rufus Thomas, Walking the Dog, Rufus Thomas, and Scotty Moore, the original guitar player from the Elvis band. They're all still alive. And that was the trip. So we just re-recorded it back here in Hot Springs, Arkansas, where I'm at now.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're running real short on time here, so I hate to cut you off, but you will come back and see us again, won't you?
Absolutely, sir.
Hey, fantastic. I knew when I was put in touch with you that you would be a good interview and you would have some great stories, and you didn't disappoint me, in addition to, of course, the great music. Thank you so much. We look forward to having you come back and see us in the near future. Ladies and gentlemen, R.D. Olson. This is called Sheila.
I knew right then she was meant for me. I cried, Sheila, I want to be your man one day. I cried, Sheila, I want to be your man one day. I cried, Sheila, I gotta be your man one day. Well, you know I love you, girl, but you don't seem to know my name. See, I was playing at the cage on a Saturday night, singing Johnny Walker Man the band, playing tight. Looking back at me, I knew right there she was meant for
There you go. R.D. Olson. It's called Sheila. We want to thank our guests for joining us today and sharing their stories and music, Katryna Alexis and Mr. R.D. Olson. We want to thank you, our listeners, for joining us, and hope you'll be back with us again next week. Same time, same bat channel, for another round of the David Bowers Awards. John Bon Jovi, I think it's time to take us home.
I could not agree more. I think we have roast pork chops waiting for me at home tonight, and I'm kind of looking forward to that.
I'm there.
Yeah, well, dinner's in 15 minutes. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you did it again. We really appreciate it. You spent another perfectly good hour with us here at the David Bowers Awards, which, by the way, just happens to be broadcast around the world from the studios of Computer Help USA in Naples, Florida, and of course from the Valley of the Sun in Tempe, Arizona, and we are available for free on most of the major streaming services. Be sure to follow us, The David Bowers Awards, on Blog Talk Radio, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, all the usual places. And join us next week for The David Bowers Awards, Saturday at 12 p.m. on the weirdly wonderful WRFZ-FM. That's Rochester Free Radio, and 106.3 on your FM radio dial. That's 12 p.m. Eastern. And be sure to join us next week, Sunday, on Blog Talk Radio at 2 p.m. Eastern, and that's 11 a.m. Pacific, and 7 p.m. UTC. So until next week, for the David Bowers and Nick the Geek, our marvelous engineer, I am yours truly, the lovably legendary John Bon Jovial, saying, wash your hands, still got to do that, keep your distance, wear your mask, get your vaccination, and love everybody. And we'll see you next week right here on the David Bowers Awards.